Welcome to Nostology. We are your host. I'm Shelley.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we're going to talk about something a little different. We just got back from a cruise, but it was a retreat with our wonderful business coach, Beth.
Yes.
It just went a little interesting on our way there. So we thought we'd kind of share a little bit about that and talk a little bit about the book that we discussed there too, because I think it really actually can apply to families and anybody. It's not just business, but families and everything in general. But, on the way there, we had an interesting time getting there. I was actually starting to feel like we weren't supposed to be going because everything it was against us, right?
The universe was giving us signs.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off on how it started?
Yeah, we got to the airport, got on our plane and sat for 2 hours while they did maintenance.
Yep.
A whole list of maintenance. They're like, 1 of 10 items has been fixed. 2 of 10 items has been fixed. They get to the last one and can't find a part. So they kick us off the plane and tell us to go.
That's always fun.
They were like, well, so that you don't have to sit on the plane any longer, we're going to give you the privilege of sitting in the airport instead. So
so we went back to the Admirals Club because that's where I go.
We had some martinis and guacamole. And
yeah, we decided to, why not? Because you know what? Earlier when we got to the airport, I was ready to celebrate, right? So I had a glass of champagne. To me, always, traveling is always a celebration.
It is.
That's the
but
way
we
I look
were
at it.
stressed the whole time. Well,
okay, that you're jumping way ahead. Back up to my
I was
champagne.
still stressed, yes.
So I had my glass of champagne and Jessica's being good. And she's like, no, I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off on that champagne. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to partake. I'm going to start this party right. So we get on the plane and we sat for 2 hours and we weren't sitting next to each other. So Jessica's, a few rows behind me. So we're texting. And she, unfortunately, had a really irritating guy sitting across the aisle from her. So that guy was entertaining in himself.
This guy, it was a big guy, but he somehow stretched across the aisle. I'm on the aisle seat and he's across from me. But he managed to still bump me with his knee because he used the whole aisle for his leg room. And his leg was used as his laptop holder. So he was doing work on his laptop in the aisle. Everyone's having to step over him. And
I know. I turned around at one point when you were saying that. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is taking up the entire aisle because people were up and they're tired of sitting. So they were trying to walk up and down the aisle. And
the guy in front of him was doing his exercises in the aisle. He was doing lunges up and down.
I did not see that guy.
So, yeah, people were trying to step over him to go to the bathroom. And then they're like, I'm getting many butts in my face as they're trying to hurdle him and his laptop. And he was cussing up a storm the whole time because he was pissed. We're not all in this together.
We all understand, but we don't need to do that. I mean, it's like, yeah, we're frustrated. Nobody wants to be sitting on the runway. We're all ready to get out of there. So when they kicked us off,
yes,
I was like, are you ready for that drink now?
Yes. I regretted not having the champagne earlier because I could have used it.
I would have calmed you down a little bit, calmed your nerves. So we go back to the Admirals Club and we had a martini and the bartender was super sweet and he made them really, really good. Lemon drop martini is one of my favorites. So we opted to have one more because we're sitting there and we kept getting these notifications from American, like, it's been delayed again. And you know how you're just like, oh,
they just kept pushing out by 10 minutes over and over and over.
We had the second martini and then we get notified, like, we're not even finished with that drink, that now we have to go to a different terminal.
Yep.
So we have to slam the martini.
We have to make our way across the entire airport. DFW Airport's huge for anyone that's not familiar.
Oh my gosh. It is not easy to change terminals.
Yes. Well, and then we got up and we're not big drinkers. So we both felt it immediately. And we were drunk trying to find our way through the airport.
Yeah.
So,
but I had seen this guy. Okay. So I'll tell you my little number story. I love repeating numbers. And one of the numbers I see all the time is 111 or 1111. And this guy in first class had this hat on that said 1111. And to me, that is a good sign. So I thought that guy, he stood out. He was really super tall with this 1111 hat on, him and his wife. And I thought we just need to follow 1111. He'll get us there.
Yeah, we saw them getting on the tram. So we tried following.
Well, we tried, but then we went the other way and we get down. I'm like, I don't think this is right. And I think you were like, I think we're going the right way. And I go, no, where's 1111? Well, we lost him.
We didn't realize there was 2 sections of that terminal that we were supposed to be going to, and we got off on the wrong. part. So we
Yes.
found our way, though.
We found our
made it.
way. We made it. We got back on the plane.
And then they
Then
made us
what
wait
happened?
another hour because they realized that this plane wasn't stocked to go out on another flight. So they wanted to go back to the other plane and get snacks and drinks for us, which the whole plane was begging,
We're
no,
like, we
please,
don't need the snacks.
we don't want our snacks. We don't need those pretzels. But we sat there for an hour while they restocked.
Well, yes, but remember,
we switched.
yes. So before, Jessica had already told me about this guy that she was sitting next to. So I thought, you know what? Let me fix this. I'm going to go ask him. I saw him sitting there before we boarded again. And I thought, let me ask him if he'll switch with me because I was, a few aisles ahead, but also on the aisle. And he was traveling alone. And so he was more than happy to switch. So
Yes.
we get in 4 hours late and
Yeah,
we
it was
were
10
going to
o'clock.
go to dinner, but the restaurants were closed.
While we were sitting on the flight, we had been researching restaurants and picking out a fun place to go. And that was all over.
And we were going to Fort Lauderdale
Oh, yes.
because we were going on a cruise and that's where the cruise took off. But luckily the cruise was taken off the next day and we were flying in the night before. So we get there and we're like, oh my gosh, we're starving. We have not eaten in a long, long time other than the guacamole and the martinis. So
We were very hungry. So we ordered Uber Eats, found some burger place that was open, and we thought we would get showered and cleaned up while it was being delivered, and time just kept passing.
that did not go as planned. You guys, I go to bed by 10 o'clock. Okay. So after a long travel day, we waited until it took 2 hours.
It was 2 hours. We ordered at 10. It did not arrive till midnight. And this guy,
I
he
had to
is
stay
just
awake for
sitting-
this.
He's very upset.
Yes.
The driver had picked up the food, and every time I checked, it seemed like he was in the same place. I was getting really annoyed, and I was about to report it, but he was sitting on this highway, and so I pulled up Google Maps, and the highway was closed from an accident, and he was sitting in this massive amount of traffic where they were rerouting everyone through the side streets.
I know. I kept saying, did he move yet? Did he move yet? And she's like, no.
So he finally made it, but after the burgers and fries sat in his car for an hour, they were very cold.
Very cold. But still, that burger, I mean, it was still delicious. We were probably starving to death, but
Yeah.
it would have been really good if it was warm.
It would have.
The fries were kind of gross.
The
But,
fries were very gross.
but the burger was delicious. Maybe I was just starving, but
I think we
nothing
were.
like having a huge cheeseburger and going straight to bed.
Yeah, I had trouble getting to sleep after that because my stomach hurt. So.
Oh my gosh. So the next morning we're like, okay, easy breezy. We're just going to get an Uber. We've got a
It's a
15-minute
10
ride, maybe to the port cruise. And that didn't go as planned either.
Yep. The driver doesn't speak English, so we're not communicating very well. We get
He was very nice, though.
He was so nice.
He was trying so hard to communicate with
He
us.
did. And we got through it, but there's a train ahead and we're stopped for this train, but it's going very slow. And he kept pointing at it and the train stops, which, I mean, it happens. We have a ton of trains around us and you get stopped for a minute. He finally was able to communicate to us that that train, when it stops, it stays for an hour.
An
So he
hour.
put
We're
the car.
stuck in this
park.
traffic behind this stopped train.
There's no other places to turn because we're in the section of road right before the train. There's medians, there's guardrails, and we're in the middle lane of traffic. So we sat for quite a while. Some people started getting into like the median and the grass on the side and turning around and going the wrong way in traffic to get out of there. And so he did too, but even that was chaotic.
Well, luckily we were in an SUV, so he was able to go over the median and then trying to go the other way. This big 18-wheeler literally like pulls in front of us while we're in the median
Yep.
Wade
He's halfway
across.
off the curb.
and blocks our way. We're like, okay, seriously? At this point, who would have given up? Like, I was like, I don't know if we're supposed to be on this boat, Jessica. What's happening? And keep in mind, this was all like 1 week after all the hurricanes hit.
So Shelley was nervous.
I was really already nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be seasick? Like, what if there's more storms? Like, are we supposed to be going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that 18-wheeler, boy, our driver kind of lost it on that guy.
We're all, I was cussing at him too.
Oh my gosh. We finally got around the truck and then we made it there. But
Yep.
it was just an experience and a journey just trying to get there. And it was supposed to have been just easy flight, Fort Lauderdale, spend the night. The next morning, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from, our hotel is the cruise port. And that is not at all how it played out.
Well, and I had originally, Spirit had a $50.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Spirit had a $50 ticket to Fort Lauderdale. And so I booked that. I was like, it is so cheap. I know it's not the greatest
I
airline,
know, and I'm
was like-
American because I go with the points.
and I normally fly American, but I was like, oh, for $50, $50. Like, I'll do this. But then in the last couple of months, they kept changing the time, and then they moved it to like a 10 p.m. flight. And I was like, I'm not doing this. So I canceled that flight, got my money back, booked American. I'm curious now if Spirit would have gotten me there quicker.
They might have. It's probably so. I don't know. I'm not having good luck with American lately, even though that's typically all I fly. But I mean, all my flights and stuff has been weird and off and delayed. So we finally get there.
Yes.
And then what?
Are we talking about our transactions?
Yes.
The worst transaction of my career, not to our fault. We did everything we could.
Now we're switched to business because now, we're going on a retreat with our coach and some fabulous ladies across the country in this coaching group, which I look forward to, every year. I didn't get to go last year, but love this group. And Jessica and I had mutual clients that were closing that day, that Monday that we were getting on the boat. And then there was another one on Wednesday, but the one from Monday, oh my.
Well, that was actually supposed to have closed the week before.
Yeah, the Friday before.
So some people, when they buy or sell a house, if they're moving for work, their companies will go through a relocation service, and it helps to pay for some, sometimes they help to pay for some of your moving expenses or closing costs. And these relocation companies, they're a pain in the ass to work with.
Oh,
they are
yeah,
awful.
You're putting it mildly.
I mean, that's normal to have them be a pain. This one was the worst one I've ever dealt with.
Me too. They
were incompetent. They were unresponsive. And in general, these relocation companies, they don't care. I mean, we're dealing with people's lives. Mm-hmm. Their homes, their situations where people may end up homeless if we don't get closed on time. And they don't care. It's 5:00. I'm checking out. I'm out of here. And some of them live in different time zones from where we are. So sometimes that's a 3:00, or there's people in other countries and they're out at 1:00. And so it was the worst, most stressful transaction I have ever had.
Dealt with that. Yeah. Trying to get it all wrapped up. So it didn't exactly end on Monday. It
didn't. It went into Tuesday, and they kept throwing new curveballs at us. And they're like, well, now we want this and now we want that. So it was a huge headache.
We were both, very stressed. And then at some point, because here we are on a boat and we both have different service providers on our phones. And so at some point, like my phone, I couldn't make any phone calls. And then Jessica couldn't get email.
Anytime we were on the boat, even though we had Wi-Fi, which I thought I was going to be okay with Wi-Fi.
I know.
So no email. So Shelly's emailing people for me.
And you're making phone calls for me, like I'm using your phone.
The one day when we were in Bimini, Shelly's phone did not work there. So we're passing the phone literally back and forth. And
we're on a beach.
Sitting on the beach.
In Bimini, Bahamas.
And passing my phone back and forth because it's the only one that will work. So this is what it's like to be a real estate agent and a lender.
Yes. So if you think we're just taking lots of vacations and they're actually real vacations, no, we actually work on all of this. So after 2020, I just realized, if I'm going to work, I might as well be working somewhere fabulous.
Yep.
So I started doing a lot more traveling. Yes. And people that aren't in our industry think I'm just, taking time off of work. And that's not the case. We're basically working. So those first 3 days on the boat, we had like 2, kind of stressful situations with mutual clients that we were working on. It's like we didn't get to relax until the very last day. And we were at sea because the first day we were in Key West. And here we are, walking up and down Duval Street, trying to enjoy it, but at the same time, checking email, making phone calls, checking text messages.
Trying to enjoy my lobster roll while responding to messages.
Good. Isn't that delicious?
It was the best lobster roll I've ever had. What is that? It's the
Lobster Shack.
Lobster Shack.
On the other end of Duval Street.
By the most southern point.
Yes. Right down the street from that little tiny hole in the wall place.
But so instead of mayonnaise, they do a little bit of butter and lime juice.
And key lime.
Yes. So it is
so fresh and light.
Not as heavy. So it was very good.
Thank you for going and having that with me. Because I was like, I knew of that place. And I'm like, Jessica, do you want to go? I want this lobster roll again. It's so good.
We had fun. Duval Street had a few, cute boutiques and coffee shops. So we had some fun. But
the people watching.
Yes, I was going to say, we did not realize we were there during Fantasy Fest week.
Which is, this was the week before Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah. So had no clue what was going on with why these people were dressed the way they were.
Or not dressed.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was questionable whether the clothes were actually considered clothes.
There were some people who were just wearing some straps.
Yeah.
or mesh, very wide mesh. Well, and then one of our friends, they went up to a patio, a rooftop bar. They thought that might be neat to go sit up and be able to look out. And it was a nude bar. So there was a lot of skin that we saw.
Oh, but you know what was the funniest thing to me was when we kind of all met up later that afternoon in Key West, and one of the gals, they had gone snorkeling. And so she had like, a top but bikini bottom on or something, and they wouldn't let her in the restaurant. I'm like, have you seen what's happening out there? Like, you won't let her in the restaurant, and, like she's covered, but bikini bottoms or whatever. But yet there's people out there in leather straps that are not even covering their ass.
Yes. The guy on the bike, he was wearing leather straps, and he had a thong. It was all he had was a thong on.
It was black leather and like silver studs. And he literally covered his face, y'all, too. And he's riding a bike with his ass cheeks hanging out.
Every time he rode by, Shelley was like, that hurts so bad.
I was like, oh my gosh, that does not look comfortable.
Yeah, we did not know until after we see all of this. We're like, what's happened to Key West? This is not what we remember.
Yeah.
But then we found out about Fantasy Fest after we got back.
So there you go. So if you ever go to Key West and hear Halloween, just be prepared. Don't take your children. It's a little scary, but we had a great time. And I love that I got my 15,000 steps in that day.
Yes. We did a good job that day.
Yes. So then the day at sea, we actually got to settle in and do retreat stuff.
Yes.
Right. And that was really the whole point of this, y'all. Like the whole point of this trip was this retreat with our fabulous coach, who has just been a lifesaver, I know, to me personally over the years. So
yes, helped us. I mean, I've had coaches before, and someone who actually looks out for us as humans and not just pushing us on business, because
yes, she helped my mental health over this last couple of years. She's one of the reasons why I am still doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. So saved us a lot. But one of the things that she had us do before the retreat, and one of our big topics, was this book that she had read and had us do these exercises. It's the 6 Types of Working Genius. Did I get that right?
Yes.
I'll let you pronounce his name.
Oh, yeah. And the author is Patrick Lencioni.
Hopefully that is your name.
So if you've ever heard of the book 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, he wrote that book. So really,
and I've read
great
that
author.
one.
Yeah, it's really good. But this working genius thing was really, really interesting.
We enjoyed it a lot, and we did some activities with it. But so whether you're in business and, maybe this is used in a business aspect, that's great. But we realized in reading the book and talking about it, how much this impacts us at home, like
day-to-day life,
with our spouses or
if you have a spouse.
If you have a spouse. But understanding all those relationships, because it was fun. As soon as I got into this and read the book, then I was like identifying what my kids were and my husband, and it helps to kind of make sense of how we handle different projects and situations.
It does, because we actually took a quiz right before we went.
Yes.
And we determined what we were. So, I mean, basically the premise is you've got 6 different types of working geniuses. And so there's 6 different things. But when you take the quiz, basically you have 2, right?
You have 2 that are your genius.
Which means your, what do you want to call that? Your best. Those are like, that's how you operate. That's who you are.
It's where you thrive.
Yeah, where you thrive. That's
and then there's 2 that are your, oh gosh, I always forget what they call the middle one.
It's competencies.
There you go. Mm-hmm. You can do them. They're not where you thrive, but you can do them.
But you don't hate them. I mean, you're okay with it. It's like, meh, it's all right.
The meh. And then the last one is your working frustration. So the 2 areas that you have the most frustration with when you're working on a project. So
yeah. So if you're always working on the things that frustrate you, then that's going to, show up in different areas of your life, whether it's your home life or your work life.
Yeah.
You're not going to be very happy.
And I'll give a quick summary of what those different categories are. We both kind of had preconceived notions when we heard the different categories. But when you read the book and you read more into it, it makes more sense.
It really does.
If you kind of take it through the process of, like I said, like a project, the 6 categories are wonder, which is like the person who is, asking the questions, the why, the how, the big picture. And then that moves into invention. So how do we solve that problem? What ideas do we have? The creative. Discernment. So the person who says, wait a minute, does this make sense? Is this feasible? Does it work? Into galvanizing, which is rally the troops. That's one of Shelley's geniuses.
I love it.
Enablement, which is not a bad thing. Shelley.
I was like, oh, I don't want to be an enabler.
We made lots of jokes on the boat about that.
But that's not what it means.
Every time our friend Karen pushed us to stay out later or have another drink, she was our enabler.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole different story. I haven't got to that yet.
But the enablement is the helper, the person who is jumping into that project, helping and taking on task to help get the project done. And then final one, tenacity, the finisher, the person who thrives on getting the project done and seeing it to completion.
Right. And I didn't look at tenacity that way. You know, initially when I looked at mine and what my quiz reflected on me, I was like, oh no, I am super tenacious. But when you actually look at the meaning of it in the book, I was like, okay, no, I kind of fight at the beginning, but then once I've done my part, like I'm done.
I'm the same way because my tenacity is low. And actually, it's funny because Beth was like, no, you're super tenacious. And I'm like, no, I get shit done.
Yeah.
Because I need to.
Me too. But
We
I
have
mean,
to.
other people can finish it when I've already fought and done my part.
Well, when I get the contract negotiated and I get to do the creative problem solving to make the thing happen, I don't want to have to go and like upload all the forms everywhere and cross all the T's and dot all the I's and make sure that this deadline's hit. I did my part. I got to have the fun with like writing the super creative offer and getting it done and making the phone call that we got the offer accepted. I don't want to have to review the documents after. And
Same.
by the time I get that CD before closing, I'm like, do I really want to do that? I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. So what else is there? Is that, that's all.
That's
you listed
the 6.
all 6 of them. So what are you again?
Mine is, well, I start to wonder if my invention should be a little higher, but it came out where my geniuses were discernment and enablement. So which discernment, definitely. That's like your instincts and being, let's see, actually, I think, discernment, you're naturally gifted and derive energy and joy from using your intuition and instincts to evaluate and assess ideas or plans. So that one felt right for me. What your top one is? Wonder,
which I thought was weird to begin with. And then galvanizing, which that one I did agree with, but you've got more of a definition there. Like wonder, I was like, that just felt like so la up in the clouds. Like, okay, that's not Space cadet. Like that's not what it means.
Yeah. But it's the person who is going to question, why are we doing things this way? And how could this be different? Because if you don't have someone questioning those things, nothing ever changes.
Well, I have to look at that when I'm looking at loans. Like, how else can I do this? How else can I make this happen with what I've got here?
Well, and I know you said that your eye, the creative, the inventor, you don't think you're very high there, but I think you're better than you give yourself credit for.
I'm like, I don't reinvent the wheel, but that's kind of how I thought of it.
Yeah, but getting creative with different ways of doing things. Because, I mean, this is why we work together.
Right?
Because
yes.
You do. You don't just, I've seen lenders before where it's like, oh, nope, doesn't meet these qualifications. Instead of going, ooh, what if we do it this way or that way? Or we could do it with this type of loan. And if we get creative and do this instead of this, or have them do this here. And I've seen you do that so many times. So I think you're more creative than you realize. Maybe it's not like artistic creative, but
definitely
creative
not.
Problem solving.
So I don't know. There's, to me, it's very close to that wonder, right? Because it's just like I do ask the questions and I like that part.
Yeah.
Of figuring things out. And I thrive when somebody tells me, ooh, another lender couldn't do this. I'm like, ooh, let me take a peek.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. I'll try to do my best and figure it out.
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
Well, and so then in the book, the author explains how this all came about, where, he was having struggles with his business and feeling frustrated. And they said he was moody every day. And it was because he was doing the things that frustrated him. But then he goes into some of his personal life and realized that neither he nor his wife have tenacity. That's a frustration for both of them.
To finish the project.
So every time they start a house project or have anything that needs to be done, neither of them wanted to actually take it through to the end.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool because they were able to kind of, you're right. It started with his work life, and his team, they all sat down and they kind of went through this. And then they were kind of able to make some changes to put people in areas of their working genius and take away some of the things that frustrate and move it to somebody who that is their genius. right? Because I definitely know, like when I'm working in my frustrations and when Jesse, my fabulous assistant, is out of the office, like I'm working in my frustrations because, like you said, like the paperwork, all of that, that is not fun for me.
Yeah.
That is not fun for me. Like I have to do it on occasion, but I do not enjoy it. And I try my best to not be super frustrated, but I am. And it's what it is. I got to work in the things that I, excel at. And that's not it.
Right. Well, and it's good, if you do have employees or, a team, making sure you have people that are in the right roles because they're not going to be happy with their job or do it well if they're not working in their genius.
Well, and this couple in the book, he actually talked about how, they looked at that from their household perspective. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool.
And that's where I realized, like with my kid, it was so easy for my kids because it was harder for me to actually figure out my husband's because we do all of them. We have to do them in life. We can't just leave projects undone.
We're grown-ups. We have things, we have responsibilities.
So we have to work in all of them, even our frustrations. But we don't sit there and express them. We're not sitting there complaining every day going, I can't believe I have to do this. So it was harder for him, but for kids, because, they tell you what they think.
Yes, they do.
They're very vocal.
They're very vocal.
Immediately, I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh my gosh, my youngest, tenacious. That kid will not stop until he is done. He has to finish. He can't leave a project undone. It doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m. He will get that thing done.
Wow.
But then my other one, definitely like the wonder inventor. He is always coming up with creative things, but he will never finish anything that he does.
But it made sense, right? Didn't it?
It did. And so I got to talk to them about it and they were laughing. They're like, that's so me. So it was fun and helpful for them to see the things that they thrive in. Now they're still going to have to learn to do the others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I thought it was really interesting that, we did a couple of activities that were around like our frustrations. Like she put us in a group that had similar, like for me, a couple of other people that had the similar frustrations and then gave us like a little project to work on. And, it was frustrating, because it was like, oh, this isn't my jam. Like, you could totally see the frustrations coming out.
Yeah.
Given a project and you're working in your frustration. Mm-hmm. But then we had that fun scavenger hunt.
Yes. Where we got
that my team won, by the way. We didn't win a prize, but we won.
It was bragging rights.
Bragging rights,
and I still say it was unfair.
Why? Why was it unfair?
Because we had to text pictures from the scavenger hunt to our coach. And we had a lot of us with cell issues. So I sent all these pictures to her and I texted her. I said, did you get them all? And she said, I'm getting your text, but not your pictures. So then I'm running across the ship to hand deliver my phone to her. Yeah, it would have worked better if we had reliable cell service.
Well, that was a little bit sketchy, but I mean, that was fun.
We did. We had a blast with it. And finding that damn duck. I didn't realize that
I never saw the duck. Somebody on my team found it, but
yeah, there was that one
Jeep
bar.
Duck.
The Jeeps. Yeah. Just like with Jeeps with the little rubber ducks. Apparently that's a thing on cruises.
It is. I have found one before and I have a Jeep. So I save it and it's on my dashboard.
My team, we were running all over. We had found everything and we couldn't find this damn duck. And someone from one of the shops, they said, casino always has a ton. So we're up and down every aisle of the casino trying to find ducks. Then we're going around the ship again because we didn't find any. And someone tells us the casino again. We're like, we were there. We didn't see any. And they said it's on the shelves behind the register. So the girl one of the girls on our team, she went and there's people who are cashing out and she's sitting there poking her head around the back as he's handling a handful of cash and probably thought she was going to like rob him or something. He was giving her the strangest look. She's like, I'm looking for the ducks. And the whole time there was a duck at the bar where we had started. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, it was fun. It was fun. And I enjoyed, the book and learning those things. It really did make a lot of sense to me.
It did. And it's really interesting, especially because, I'm in the phase of needing to hire someone. Mm-hmm. So I'm really taking time to evaluate this and figure out not just what I need from the role, but what I need from the personality type.
Absolutely.
So that they need to work in their genius that helps to balance me, but also that works for the position. So it's an interesting thing, but I think it'll help me with hiring.
For sure.
But it can help us around the house too with understanding why maybe your spouse or your children get frustrated with certain things.
Yes. Well, overall, it was super fun and, ended up staying up dancing.
Till 2 a.m.
Yes. Thank you,
We did.
Karen. Thank you,
Yes.
Karen. She, she's like, we've got to stay out and dance.
Dance.
Dance. We must dance. She's British, so
If you couldn't tell. That was our attempt.
that was my attempt. I'm not good with the accent, but yeah, she's fabulous. And she's like, we must stay out and dance.
I mean, we all have our businesses and families, and we don't get the chance to do this all the time. So it was fun to let loose, and we did. We had a great time, and these are some amazing women. So if you're ever looking for real estate agents or lenders anywhere else across the country, we're all spread out everywhere. So we can connect you with some of these awesome people.
We know fabulous people everywhere.
And they're, I mean, so good at what they do. And they're just amazing humans. So it was so fun to get to spend, we did spend a lot more time doing fun things this time than we've done in the past on our retreats.
True.
Which was fun. I mean, there was less on, seminars and presenters than what we've had, but just getting to hang out with these girls. And
I think we all needed that.
We did. And some fun at the martini bar. What did Shelley get? Well, actually, we both ended up getting to do it. But
I know. Okay, I do like martinis, but they had a martini bar and I was so excited.
Coolest martini bar.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. The actual countertops were ice.
Yes.
So sometimes the martinis, they'd hand them to you and they would stick to the ice tabletop. I mean, but anyway.
The bartenders, it was like from Cocktail. They would do performances.
They did shows every night. And we actually did a really cool thing they would let you do. It's like a martini tasting. And I don't remember how many of them there were. Was it 10, 12?
On the one you did, I think it was when you poured was 5.
5 martinis?
Yes.
Okay, so little mini martinis. And what they did, we'll have to post a video.
Yeah, we can.
I think we should. It was just too fun. So they prepare like all the little mixing cups with the different types of martinis. And then they basically hand it to you and you pour it out. And each one goes into a different glass and it's a different flavor of martini.
Yes. Yeah, they've got them stacked. And then one night, our group, we were ordering quite a few. And so he was starting to prepare it and offered to let me do it. So I got to pour one that night too.
Oh, it was really fun. I was like, okay, so we learned more than just
we learned
6 working geniuses. Yeah, I learned how to pour multiple martinis and try them all.
They did it though with their shows, they had like 15 different ones that they would do. Five was hard enough. After I finished mine, he looked at me, he goes, good job, but a little slow.
Oh,
I was like, well, I'm not an expert like you.
No, we're not, but oh my gosh, it was so fun. So,
I almost forgot. So one of our other exciting adventures with travel was the emergency we had. We were sitting, that's what made me think it. We were sitting at the martini bar. They came over the intercom and said that they had a medical emergency.
On the boat.
It was already too dark. This is what I found out. That's why a helicopter didn't come, because it was too dark to land. So they had to hightail it to Miami to meet the Coast Guard to offload this sick or injured person. And so we went very fast.
The boat was rocking.
People could not stand up straight.
I put my patch on. That's when I put my patch on.
We started walking down the hall to go to the show, and everybody, it's just like ping pong balls bouncing back and forth off the walls as we were trying to walk.
Yeah. But the person ended up walking off.
Did they?
That somebody saw them like get off the boat and get onto the other boat, and they were walking. So
that's good.
I'm hopeful that they're okay.
Yeah.
But there was some kind of emergency that we had to make a stop in Miami.
It was very rough, and we lost a few of our group to seasickness. If you had to skip dinner, go straight to bed.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and that one dinner place was really cool. That Le Petit Chef.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
They project. They have you in a dark restaurant, and they project a video onto the table where this petite chef
on your plates and all over the table.
Yeah. So like the table is like a garden, and he's tossing the vegetables onto your plate for your salad, or the soup. He was fishing
and catching the stuff,
the lobster and the.
I loved it. I thought it was really cool. And then they would bring you your plate and it would look like what he just created. Yeah. So it was really cool. Maybe we put a video of that too.
I do have some. Yes. I can share that.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I actually saw that. I'm taking another trip in December in Europe. And do you know that each location, I was looking at dinner places, and that I can't say it. Le Petit Chef is also in Europe.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So it was cool.
It was just a cute experience.
It really was. It was so fun. So it was a fabulous trip. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth. Ladies, we love you. It was really amazing.
Well, and I'll link to this book and the workbook the assessment to understand your genius types if you're curious about it. I mean, this isn't us making anything off of this. We
No.
enjoyed this book. And yeah, so they have some resources on there, and he has a podcast too. So,
cool.
which we need to check out.
Yes,
so
we should. We definitely
support
should.
another podcast.
Absolutely.
But yes, very interesting. And it is on Audible too, because that's how I have to do my books.
Well, yeah, I have the hardback book, but I do love Audible.
Yes.
That's my favorite. That's just why I didn't quite finish the book.
Shame.
Because I don't sit down long enough to read, but I'll listen to it.
Does that have to do with your tenacity?
Probably. I started, but I didn't finish it. You're right.
You got through the exciting part.
I did. And I'm like, I know this is what I need.
I get
to
it.
know.
I
That
get
was
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for letting us share about our trip, because it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So. Well, thank you again for joining us, where we hope you make the best of your nest.
Bye.
Bye.